Fast things that Raid could do? Well, I brought Fastidious on to help me out. Hello, everyone. Bront, CatHerder here. We're having some fun talking Raid Shadow Legends, and I am not alone. I've got Fastidious here for another time on the channel. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. You were just kind enough to join me on my channel, so I'm happy to be over here and talking about quick fixes that can make this game a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking a couple times about things I'd like to improve the game. I think about this game oftentimes as a programmer because I've got in IT, I've done a bunch of this stuff as well. And I think a lot of us have these things that we would kind of like to improve. And you mentioned one on a video, and I'm going to actually let you kind of kick off this video with just kind of show what we're talking about with this. These are things that we think that they could fix just with a little bit of work and just a little bit of code.
Yeah, so we're not talking about things that are like make fusions this, or like these huge gameplay changes, or game flow mechanic, revisiting the whole structure of the game. But one thing I always talk about in a lot of my pulls videos is they should have a thing in the corner when you summon, like you just did, that says if a character's new. I don't think I've ever played a gacha that doesn't have that. And it might not seem like much, especially if you're like mostly a raid player and you're not used to it. But like I'll pull for viewers and I don't know their whole account, or I'm sure some people, if you've got a really well-developed roster, you might not know the handful of champions you're missing. And like, yeah, just like right above your head, Bront, in the corner, just stay new. And someone commented on one of my videos, they're like, well, you can just go to the index and you go to the red dot and then you click on the faction and then you find out which hero has the red dot. And I'm like, you just described like 4 steps. Like they can just write new in the corner. And I would think that is a single line of code, worst case 2 lines. So I think that's a 5-minute fix tops.
Yeah, and it'd be a great quality of life thing. I mean, I can tell you as an end game player, sometimes you lose track of your own account sometimes too. So it is not even unreasonable to say, is that a new champion? I don't think that's a new champion. And then you learn it is a new champion, or you learn you didn't clear the stupid red dot. And that's the other thing too. If you never clear the red dots, and some people don't clear their red dots, they may have to go digging around to figure out if it was a new champion or not anywhere, which is strange, but it's something kind of itty bitty, and it's the same type of thing too. For the souls, they had something very similar where you couldn't tell if you had the champion or not, and they finally added this little indicator underneath. Well, I don't have it. Yeah, here we go. I've got Yaga. So this little indicator here tells you whether or not you have the champion, and they finally added that. And that was a huge, quality of life improvement, as well as the faction on these things and the names underneath them even, in fact, too. So little things like this is kind of what we're talking about. And I thought that was such a great idea. One of the things I still don't know why they haven't fixed this yet. So just something I would absolutely love them to do. How often are you in the team setup and you go here and we're setting up the teams and it's like, oh, dang it, I need to find this champion and they're somewhere in my roster and I can't filter for them like I can in every other place in the game now because they put these filters in. I have to go one of these by ranks or by one of these other things, and that's the only way I have to sort this entire section right here, and it's such a pain.
Yeah, that's someone I haven't thought of, but I have experience, and I'm like, how is this a thing? And yeah, it's like the button art exists, right? The whole internal mechanism exists. Just add that button there and let you, yeah, because for sure it's pretty frustrating.
And
I'll
not
tell
only
you
that,
one
but
while we're in. Sorry.
can't even drag him around. I think that may have been what you were about to talk about too.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Well,
Like if you want to make Dirindil not your lead, you have to like take him fully out and then take Taragi out and then put Taragi in or whatever you wanted to put the lead. And then they lose all their settings. So then you have to go in and reset all those settings. So like I'll have it that I used to have to run Tagore as my lead, but now my team's better, so I want to run Alice as the lead. But then I lose both of their setups. I find that really annoying.
Oh yeah. So all right, well, throw another one at you. What do you got?
This one's really basic too, and I think people will agree with it. But whenever like there's a movement in a tournament, or maybe you like failed something and someone wasn't equipped, and like right above your head where it says like referral program, you get that banner that pops out, but it's like exactly where you want to click everything else in the game.
Yep.
That drives me nuts, and I feel like there's so many good spots for this in the game where they could put it. Like you could put it right in the middle on top, you could right in the middle on the bottom, you could tuck it away in any full corner instead of being a little lower. We never need to click there, but they put it exactly where I always want to click.
Yep. You want to go into the team setup or you go in your champions, and it's right in the middle of these two, covering most of them up. And oftentimes it starts to pop up as you're going over to click it too.
Exactly.
So just so
and next thing
frustrating.
you know, you're checking on the classic arena tournament results and you got to get all the way back to this menu.
Yeah, or just like, you know, you go, I mean, yes, it goes into somebody and says, oh, this person didn't have gear. Well, yes, I know they didn't have gear. Or worse yet, if you've rerun content 6 or 7 times, which you might do in Faction Wars with an ungeared champion sometimes, and you're rerunning it a couple times, and then you finally quit out of it, and it pops up 6 or 7 times. So it's not
Yeah.
that it's just one time. It's like, oh, I got to sit here and wait for this. Just, yeah, so frustrating with some of that stuff. It would definitely be nice to, to get that out there. That would be kind of nice. While we're actually in some of these little things here, talking about managing champions and stuff like that, I can appreciate that the long press brings me into here to look at the champion, and I can actually see the stats here. Why doesn't this just bring me into the, not even the team setup? Why doesn't this bring me into the champion with the champion I want highlighted? Why can't I click on any one of these champions here and hover over them and bring into the champion selection and not
Yeah.
this screen, which, while kind of useful, is not as useful as actually seeing what gear they have on them, because that's usually what I actually care about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, who cares about Whisper? You care about your Whisper, right?
Yes.
That's the whole point.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I've heard you complain about that one too, because you were like, why is it doing this? This doesn't make any sense. It's
Well,
just,
that's one of those things where you probably heard me complain about on stream because when I was first, I mean, I'm kind of comfy in raid now. I just hit 100 days. But before that, like, I just forgot what little UI things the game does and doesn't have, and that's something I'm very used to from other games. And I kept being shocked, and I kept forgetting that it wasn't a thing in this game, and I just kept getting disappointed or whatever.
all right. So what's your next one?
I got it's the smallest thing, but probably my least favorite. Can we go to a campaign battle, please?
Oh, sure.
It actually would be any battle, but it's probably the easiest to show in campaign battle. So right now you have 49 energy.
Hmm.
But if we had a super raid on, right? And you go to do it and you go to click, it would say you don't have enough. And sorry, I need to rephrase this. Do you know what I'm gonna say?
I know what you're going to say. Yeah.
I don't know how to phrase it. You know what I mean though,
Yeah.
right? How you have
You,
to click out of the menu.
why doesn't it say that you don't have enough to run a super raid? Would you like to run a regular battle or something like that? Right? It's kind of.
Yeah, or it's like and here this it's like you go to edit your team and you can't
Oh,
because you don't have
yes, I
enough
know what you're talking
things
about. It's the post
because you're in
screen.
a super raid. So,
It's the
yeah,
post
the
screen.
post screen.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like when you're in faction wars and then like now you don't have enough keys, but
Mhm.
then you have to click all the way out and then you have to click off super raids and then you click in instead of just being able to toggle it. But that drives me crazy.
No, actually, I think this is great. The fact that you and I were on the same page with what we're talking about, one of two different things. Yeah, no, that is absolutely one, and it's not as bad in campaign. Where it drives me nuts is in faction wars. Like if I'm running faction wars here for some of my early stuff, I'm running 9, which uses 16 keys if I'm two keying each one of them, and then it has 2 extra keys. So I can't run all of them at the same time. And in order to get to run the last key, I have to go out, go back
Yeah.
in. Same with super raids in Curse City, or not Curse City, but Doom Tower, where I'll run 15 keys, I'll run 14 of them, and then I'll have to exit, go back to the map, then go
Yeah,
back in
exactly.
again to get that last key
Yeah.
run. It's just kind of silly. And actually on that, kind of adding in on that one too, where we can run these in multi battles, it would be nice to be able to enable super raids, but if for some reason the last battle can't do super raids, just run the last key. Let me set
Yeah.
this to 6 keys, and I only can run
Yeah.
5.5 of them. Just let the last one run without super raids. No, little bit thing there. Just would be so easy.
Yeah. What's the reason I'm thinking about it with campaign is I like to edit my team to put new food in,
Yep.
but I go to edit team, but I can't edit team because I only have 10 energy instead of 16.
Hmm.
But I can't just switch it off and then go right to there. So I have to fully exit the menu. I guess that's what triggered in my brain. But yeah, that's something that it happens every day, basically, whenever I'm campaign farming. Also, it could happen if you fail a dungeon run and then you just want to do it again. But oh, you failed the run, so now your energy's at the wrong level. And I think that's really clunky. It always feels really weird having to. I feel like too often this game I have to click through multiple menus for something that other games would just remember where you were last.
Yeah, and actually, I think this is one of the things I think would actually be nice to do, because you can do it in a couple of areas, and you can't do it. Probably a good feed on that one, and a good third one for me is why can't I go into an area that I can't actually run right now and take a look at it? I kind of understand a little bit why I can't see some of this stuff here, but if I don't have any more keys in Faction Wars, I cannot take a look at any of these stages anymore
Yeah.
until I get those keys. And that's actually the problem with it, is it's preventing you from doing that because you don't have enough resources to run it, and it won't let you get to the menu before you run it, even though you might want to. And it's like, I can see sort of what they're trying to do, but why can't I, maybe I'm building a dragon team. I don't have energy for dragon right now, but I want to go into this boss guide and take a look at it. I literally can't go into the boss guide unless I have enough energy to run dragon. Why?
Absolutely. Yeah, I just experienced that yesterday on stream, actually. I had a really, really lucky void pull, and I wanted to see if I could put her into my clan boss team and see my 5 characters with her as the lead and picture it, but I couldn't click into clan boss because I was out of keys.
Mm-hmm.
So when I clicked into like Chimera and pretend, I was like, let's pretend this is clan boss, and then I just, you could find any
Oh yeah.
five team PVE
Well,
setup in this
that's
game.
actually a Hydra problem, is I can't look at my Hydra teams unless I have
Yeah.
a Hydra key at all. So if somebody's run all 3 of their Hydra keys and they want me to look at their Hydra teams for some reason, well, okay, we're going to have to theory craft because I can't get in there right now because it's locked out. It doesn't make any sense at all.
That's a
And it's
really
a
good
really
one too.
minor thing.
Yeah, but this is in every game. It's like, yeah, you can enter the battle, but you can't press start battle if you don't have the currency to enter or the pass to enter. But yeah,
Yeah.
at least let us get to that menu screen and the loading screen for sure.
Yeah, and I said, I'm fine if you say I can't go to the Magic Keep because the Magic Keep is actually closed. That's fine. But why can't I go to stage whatever on the keep that's actually open, even if I don't have the energy to at least look at it and do something?
Yeah.
All right. So you said you had 4 of them. We can go one more. We got time. We can probably do another 2 if you want.
I think I got one more worth mentioning. So this one is kind of specific, but if you go to the tavern, and you go like you're ranking up characters or insta upgrade characters or whatever, I wish they you see with insta rank, it's right behind your shoulder, but they've got like the setting filter or whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know what they call it, and you can set your priorities. This isn't the priorities the way I want them to go. Like it never. It's. I don't know how to explain it, but like
Hmm.
I want it to be like, don't sacrifice. You see these tags here, don't sacrifice champions that are leveled
Hmm.
sometimes, right? If I'm just using 1-star champions, like, because so often it defaults, I'm like, I have my top priority to use common, but it uses my level 19 common that I was about to finish that's already at 2 stars, as
Yeah.
opposed to the base level 1 2-star uncommon. And that really drives me crazy. To take it one step further, and this is like super specific, and I'd say 99.9% of players will never never have to deal with this, achieve this. It's not an achievement, but as someone that pulls for whales a lot, if you go to the leveling part of the tavern, not the rank up part of the tavern,
Hmm.
um, so you can do here, and then there's the instant
Instant
on
upgrade.
my
Yeah.
head, there's the instant upgrade, and it only lets you do common and uncommon. But they should always be catering to the big spenders. And as someone who has probably manually sold maybe 10,000 void rares in my life already, pulling for these Krakens, that'd be a really amazing feature to have. And I know it's really specific, and I know it's only for like super endgame or super crazy high spenders. But like those are the people I think that probably could use the like, quality of life, because I would think it would make the game money, right? If you
Yeah.
could tear through those rares faster, there's less time to think before you buy the next pack. But if you have to sit there for literally, I've timed it for 12 minutes. If you have 300 rares to manually sell,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like so for me and you're free to play. You know, my moderate balling on a budget account, we would never sell a rare. It's unthinkable, or never use a rare as a
Hmm.
XP. But for many accounts, they always do, and
Yeah.
I have to do that a lot when I pull for people, and I kind of can't believe it. So I just think they already have these instant upgrade settings, the quick upgrade rank settings, quick rank up. They could just take it like one step further. I guess this is probably the most intricate suggestion I had, because they probably do actually have to change slight functionality, but they already have the menu. It's like you add another button, this is going to still be like
Yeah.
less than
Yeah.
it's a couple lines of code.
Yeah, prioritize level first, or simply just
Yeah,
a checkbox here that lets you do champions with levels. Because I know some people do like to
yeah,
feed champions brews before they feed them stuff, although usually not
exactly. So
commons
just
and
have it with
uncommons.
levels, without levels. Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Or there could be like for priority, it could be level priority, and it could be lowest level first.
yeah,
That should just be a toggle that would solve my problems. But yeah, for sure. Like, but some people would never want to feed a leveled up unit, but other people, like I'm sure you and I, we like to get our 3 stars to level 10, or we like to get our 4 stars to level 18 before we
mhm,
feed them. It'd be cool to have that customization, and it feels like they took us 3/4 of the way there, but not to the promised land.
Yeah, actually, I was using the instant rank up when I was feeding. I was doing some mystery shard pulls for one of the events, and I was feeding the 2 stars into other 2 stars, basically making a bunch of 3-star chickens with them because I needed some 3-star chickens. And I quickly realized that the instant rank up would eat those level 20 2-star chickens that I'm ready to 3-star with if I didn't watch it for them. And I couldn't see it easily either because of the way it works. So very, very frustrating. And that's definitely one
Every
that,
time I'm doing a big champ training and I go to instant rank up, I have to scroll through and make sure to click off like the level 19 2-star they're about to feed for me.
yeah, I mean, and it seems like it's a little thing, but at some point in time, you might use it once. And if you don't know it, you throw away a bunch of stuff you used, especially for a free to play player. If I throw away a couple of, these level 20s here that are ready to go to 3-star, that's a 3-star chicken. That's actually worth something on a free to play account. So, it's
Yeah,
just,
yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Last
I
one.
think, honestly, this is, yeah, it's just, there's so many things I can think of with this. It's just, there's a lot of little things that, drive me nuts about what we could do. I really, really wish they would, I it would be nice to be able to drill down. Honestly, I think what I would like would be the filters on gear is probably the best one. I think would be nice. We have these nice filters, and we've added a ton of filters. The fact that I can prioritize stats, I can do these rank things, that's great. I can get very, very granular. But you know what I can't do? I can't do show me all my pieces without the speed substat.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't or show me things that don't have crit rate. I can't do that very well. I can approximate it because what I can do is simply I can do priority stat speed and then look at the stuff that doesn't
Yeah.
actually show up in the bottom. But I have to have everything unhidden to do that. And that feels just, and it just feels like it would be an easy toggle. You would click this, it would be a plus. Then you click it again, it'd be a minus. Then you click it a third time and it's off. It'd be really
Yeah.
easy to understand. And it would just make gear is already a huge pain point in this game right now because, I mean, you're probably not running into it too much yet. Although you're balling out of budget, so you probably have enough energy that you've had to do a few gear cleanses probably by
Yeah,
now.
I've done a couple I just did a huge one. I raised like 35 million silver.
Yeah, and it is definitely frustrating. And I mean, right now I'm at a point on my main account where if it doesn't have speed, it's probably trash, period. And it's just, so that would be so much easier to say, all right, show me everything that doesn't have speed. And then I can go through it and say, all right, this doesn't have speed. Do I want to keep this? Oh, yes, that's got triple crit rate. So it's still got some use on it or something like that.
Yeah.
But it is just
It's
something
a
that
pretty
seems
easy
so
fix, I'll be
easy.
honest. Yeah, like we have that in Monster of Realms. So basically, like let's say you clicked speed and crit rate.
Hmm.
You said clicked boots and you click speed and crit rate. The first thing it would do for life, it would show you all your boots that have both stats. Then it would be say that has at least one attribute would be the next group, and then it would say has neither attribute. So
Hmm.
that's how I'm always cleansing for people when I do takeovers for people, right? And it's really simple and it's really clean. Obviously, we have far less sets. But we also you can it's like it defaults for a lot of stuff, especially when selling, to not sort by set. Obviously, you can turn the set filters on and off, but it'd be pretty cool. You turn the set filters off, and now all of a sudden maybe that's when that functionality comes in. So these are all the ones that have speed and crit. These are the ones that have either or, and these are the ones that have neither. And then you go to neither, and you go, okay, this is the baloney,
Hmm.
So that works out pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
I will say I do feel a little guilty ever complaining about their filters, which I do think are pretty terrible. But as someone that played this game when there was literally no filters, it was just new and not new. That was it. Could not even filter by main stat. You could click the piece of gear, and then there was just new, and then there was equipped. That was it. No fitting room, none of this other stuff. So like to me, this is like more than I could have ever hoped with raids. So we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of improvements, and there's obviously things that I think that there's been plenty of people have cried out about. The background battles, for example, is a good one that they're great. Other than it would be nice if we could do something other than just regear champions with the background battles. There's all kinds of stuff that people have called out before, but I thought this would be kind of nice to think of just some of the little itty bitty things.
Can I
And to be
say
fair,
one more?
well, go ahead, go for it.
It's a fast one, but this is one. This is actually top of my list, and I just forgot to mention until now. I will say, I'd hate the gear filters. I love the champion filters. I think they did a really good job. That was completely new to me coming back. That they added this. It actually took me a while to start using them because I wasn't. I played Raid for so many years without it. But I love that they have this. why don't we have this in the index? Why is it only for the champions you have? I've thought this so many times. It'd be so cool just someone learning the game or being like, who am I really missing for my Chimera team? If right here at the top of the index in the top right, it said filter, and then it's not by faction, like why can't I just be like, all right, I want to see every defense based champion that has block debuffs and a shield and an increased speed. And then you see like the 3 in the entire game that have that. And you're like, oh, these are ones I should keep my eye on for. And you can daydream,
Hmm.
or like, oh, oh, that guy, I actually saw that guy's going to come on a progressive. That's kind of cool. Or I'll keep an eye out if this one does. I just think they already have it. Like that filter tool is actually really, really good. And then the last thing about the index I'll say is I wish it wasn't by default just sorted by faction. Like, what if you could also toggle it to be sorted by type or by affinity? So maybe like this defaults when you pop it up to be on faction, but then it just shows the whole pool of characters in the game, and you could add those little filters without getting hyper specific. But yeah, it's something I've seen in other games. Like first it shows all the attack legendaries, and then it shows all the support legendaries, and so on and so on.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful. I mean, not only that, there's other things I think they could do with this filters. You've got all the faction unity champions now. Why are the faction unity champions buried in here wherever they happen to be
Yeah,
with affinity? Just stick them as the number one legendary, and then everyone else afterwards. It would at least indicate that these guys are a little bit different, other than having to look for the aura that has the weirdness on it.
yeah,
Just little things like that they could improve, and that's okay. That's kind of where it is. If they did a patch, as I was going to say before you rudely interrupted, no, it's as you threw something in there, and if they released a patch that was the entire patch, was everything we just said, we'd hail it as an absolutely amazing patch for quality of life. It seems really stupid because a lot of the stuff is so small. But that's really kind of where, this stuff comes from. And to be fair, I think a lot of the stuff comes from people like us making videos talking about it. And sometimes Raid looks at these things and says, yeah, that is kind of a good idea. Why didn't we think about that? Because they've actually said that there's a few things that they didn't even think they needed to do until players said, yeah, this would be kind of nice. And they said, oh, yeah, that would have been kind of nice, wouldn't it? So,
yeah. Yeah, my
hey,
hope would be they see something like this and they also think, oh, that also would be easy. Let's just do that. That's easy. Because I mean, if we got 2 other creators, 4 other creators, 10 other creators, I mean, you could make the list 3 times, 4 times as long, and I still think they could get it done in 2 days max.
oh, yeah.
So simple.
Something, and to be fair, I always hate underestimating how much resource and dev time this is, especially because these code games sometimes get so interwoven with weird stuff too. So, but it's, again, it doesn't hurt to ask. Sometimes they'll actually have an answer of, yes, we can't do that because the way that's coded is causing a problem. Okay, that's fine. I kind of get it. Sometimes I do, sometimes we don't. But hey, you guys have any wonderful ideas? We would love to hear about them. Drop them in the comment. Raid does actually pay attention to these kind of videos, so they sometimes get some great ideas. And even if Raid doesn't get the ideas, other content creators might get some of them as well. And if more people start talking about this sort of stuff, the more likely this sort of stuff is to actually happen in Raid. You never know. I mean, you let me know a year ago, I wouldn't have thought the tavern would look anywhere near like it does right now. It's only, a lot of the stuff is only a year and a half in. The filters are less than a year in. Honestly, they feel like it's been around forever. So many things that, are, the quality of life is so much better in Raid now than it was 6 years ago. Honestly, it's just absolutely amazing.
I remember the day they said they were going to add gear filters, and I was like, this will change everything. And it did.
Yep. So anyway, go check out Fastidious' channel. He will sometimes stream. He has his Watcher of Realms and his Raid channels. Go check those out as well. Appreciate you having it on, and yeah, go check out the video we shot as well. We talked about some clan boss stuff, his day 100 account, and he's a cool dude. Go check him out. So any last thoughts?
Now, always really fun to, whatever it is, spend 2 hours with you when we make these videos. So great to see you. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it to this end of the video and you're not subscribed to Bront, do that.
Yeah, you'll be happy to learn that we've been stretching this. I mean, actually, I'm afraid we were only going to do like 10 minutes on this, so we actually went over 20. So we're in good shape. So
wow, really?
This feels like a worthy collab. So and actually timely at this point in time. So with that in mind, I think we're going to call this a video. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, go hit his like button and his subscribe button. Guy, he is awesome. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out, and until the next video, I'm Bront CatHerder. That's Fastidious.